Okay, class, we're down to our last lesson. Today we're going to talk about how do we handle coaches that get angry. So the first one we're going to talk about is Coach Jarvis. So what do we do when Coach Jarvis starts to get angry? That's right, very good. Okay, now this next one's pretty difficult. Coach Blair, he has a sign that lets you know that he's starting to get angry. What's that sign that we got to watch? That's right. And what do we do when we tell him enough? We put up the stop sign. That's right. Okay? Now this last one is going to be the toughest one of all. Okay? This last one's going to be the toughest one. What do we do when we start to hear Coach Miller? Oh, you're right on it. You know exactly what to do with Coach Miller. You tee him up right away. Don't even let him talk.
Good evening and welcome to another version of the Coach's Box. Ray Halbrook here from Live Stream STL. Hope everybody's having a wonderful afternoon, evening here. We're going to have another great night of the Coach's Box with the coaches, and we are going to open it up here. Here's my coaches right here. Christopher Miller, how are you, sir?
So it begins.
Yeah, no, using all 11 letters of my name. I appreciate that. You know,
Hey, Mom's watching and smiling. I guarantee
she ain't
you.
watching the show. There's no way. She's got some business to do or something. Jeez. That's all right, though. Hey, I don't get mad anymore. I get even.
That's what we hear.
Yeah,
That's what we hear.
It's all right. It'd be good for pranking. Not that I would ever do that. Since I'm learning to be a better Christian at the place I work at.
There you go.
Oh, man, it's getting
Take
deep.
you a few lessons, right?
That's right. It's okay. What? What? Say
Nothing.
okay. I mean, you're late to the party. Hey, how's that microphone working out for you?
It's awful. I mean, this guy's barely gotten full time, and he's got I got this thing.
Hey, showed up late. That's what happens.
It's because they were trying to win football games.
Hey, I
You
like
know,
it.
hey, I appreciate that.
Yep.
I do like that.
I mean, I respect it quite a bit, but you're going to use
And
a
guess
crap
what? I get a
microphone.
paycheck at that place. So
Yeah, that's like a little zinger right there.
that was a little zinger.
So if you're looking to get some sponsorship for a show that's had 1,000 viewers
Every
hey,
week.
yeah, I mean, you got
Last month, yeah.
I mean, or if you want to come to Labachang and buy my meal tonight, I'd appreciate.
yeah. So I
Because
mean,
my bank account is empty.
if anyone wants to come and buy Coach Jarvis's meal, he would appreciate it.
Yes.
This is a shameless plug right here.
Shameless
That's right.
plug.
That's all right.
I like it.
It's not shameless plug time, but at the same time, it is.
Well, they could buy a Herky gold card.
you say
and
did
support
you run
that.
out
Look, guys, it's not time for that yet. It's not time to start peddling our stuff here.
Do we have a card?
I don't
We don't
know.
have a card today. I don't see
Oh,
one
yes,
there.
I
He
do.
always has
Are
a
you
card.
kidding me?
No kidding.
I mean, I'm here to help
Oh, never mind. It's
Coach
off
Hunter.
the rails.
Coach Hunter and this
Ding, there's the one.
Herculaneum football
Off the
team.
rails.
Yep.
That's great.
Just when you think.
Cardinals are back in action, huh?
Yeah.
It's good
Wait,
stuff.
Hey,
That's good.
Hey, when you show up on time and you get to read the agenda,
I already read the agenda, man. I knew exactly what we're doing.
well, we got an interesting show for everybody. I don't know what order we're going to take it as. It's going to be like pin the tail on the donkey blindfolded here. But as Coach Jarvis pointed out, the Cardinals are back in action. Thank God.
So Coach, before you go on to
here we go.
Uh-oh.
You got to do a shout out?
No. You know,
Okay.
today we actually posted our agenda for the show on the Coach's Box Facebook page.
Oh, yeah.
So if anybody is, would like to comment on if that's something maybe that you would like to see on a weekly basis about what segments we're talking about in each segment, what's going on, and what we're talking about for the show. So just kind of you got to give yourself an opportunity to maybe comment on certain sections that you want to ask, or maybe questions you want to comment on. At that point,
or maybe some suggestions for topics for next week.
Absolutely.
I mean,
we would take that.
Yeah, we will take it.
We want to support the fans.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we want to do what they want to do.
And then that's the whole purpose of the show. Just want to try
Got
to
to give the people what they want.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you're watching out there and you're not a part of the Coaches Box Facebook page, like and share that as well. And then put it out there that we tried something new this week to see if that maybe would help let people understand what we're talking about on the show tonight. So if that's something you would like and want to see more of, give us a thumbs up, comment on our page, and let us know. But we definitely like to increase that viewership. That's for sure.
Well, I think our viewership might be increased tonight. I mean, you have a hat on.
That's
It definitely
true.
keeps
And
people
it's a
from running
beautiful
away.
black cat hat
I
right
don't know
there.
about that.
thanks to Dunn Sporting Goods. I mean, it took
Yep.
care of me this weekend. So
Yeah,
there you go.
good
That's
stuff.
where we got these hats also was done, but they're not a paid supporter, so let's quit talking about them.
Yeah, listen. If you want to sponsor the Coaches Box, we will gladly accept it. If you haven't noticed, we would like for some meals to be taken care of here. Anyway, back to what counts in life, which is sports. Not our own problems, because who cares about that? Nobody does.
Thank goodness
All
the
5 people
Cardinals are
watching.
Cardinals back in action, because I was worried.
I know.
Yeah.
I think if a couple more days, then probably wouldn't have had.
A couple more casinos and
Alleged.
Alleged.
Let's keep it. Let's keep it. To
Well,
the
they
facts.
should have went to Lou Williams Casino, because that one must be COVID free.
That's what I keep hearing.
The smartest disease.
the smartest virus ever. So they're 3-2 since coming back from their hiatus. We'll call it Casino Gate, whatever. Took 2 out of 3 against the Chi Sox, and then split with the Chubs.
So far.
How'd you like the?
3 more.
Was it Hernandez? No, Ramirez. That debut was beautiful, wasn't it?
That was awesome.
Welcome to the big leagues.
Hey, I was like after
Wham.
the third, I thought, okay, they're
gonna
gonna
take him out.
because his career's ruined.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but he's in the record books.
I
I
mean,
mean, how awesome is that?
So is Ricky and Keel for pitching.
Well, hey, it doesn't
Look,
matter.
look how that worked out.
he's coming back. He tried.
I
got
think
hurt.
they got to take him.
Oh, well,
Right
hey, Jeff Whitener wants to know
Oh, jeez.
is Coach McVay's Jefferson Blue Jay gear in the dirty laundry basket again, or what?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
laundry day.
It's a good place to keep it.
Hey,
Ouch, burn.
Man.
He's aggravated about that commercial.
Oh,
That's what
What
he's
commercial? Oh, yeah.
probably the best commercial of the week.
Man, I think I'm going to top that.
it's a game on. It's a game on.
Yeah, no, it's
Game
what
on.
we do here.
That's
We're
it.
very competitive. I don't know if anybody's noticed this.
I may not win trivia, but the
No,
commercials, we'll see.
That's
But
right.
hey, I'll go sleeveless.
Now, listen,
Do what it takes, brother. Do what it
listen.
takes.
If they ever repeal the Second Amendment, you can't do that. All right. So anyway, so during this time, we got to see Dylan Carlson, which everybody was really excited about, and he's 2 for 17,
He's struggling.
hitting $118 with 5 strikeouts.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pressure.
I mean.
What a terrible time.
I'm okay with that because I've seen what Harrison Bader is. And Harrison
man,
Bader looks like
wow.
he's swinging a garden hose, and he's not hitting anything.
That's giving him a lot of credit there, buddy.
Well, at least at least Carlson's a switch hitter. So he can turn it around and actually have the ability to bat left-handed, where Bader just is terrible from the right side all the time.
I've been kind of pleasantly surprised with Fowler.
Yeah.
You know, he hasn't been just terrible. I mean, he's been
he's
all
hitting
right.
300.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing okay. I'm not a big Fowler fan.
No,
But
I'm not either.
Because I was like, let's bring up Carlson and send Fowler and a bag
Too
of
much
baseballs
money.
for somebody.
Hey, but did you
Too much
did
money.
you see what Fowler did in Chicago?
Oh, that was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
We
How
went and got
is
the ball.
that? How cool is that? I think
Yeah.
that was pretty awesome.
I think Fowler's a great guy. I just wish he
Yeah.
would hit like he did that year for the Cubs, you
I
know.
know.
But
He might run like Hayes. Anyway, can't use the rest of that. So, really, right now, I think the biggest problem is Wong, Edmund, Bader, and Carpenter have during this time have 115 at bats and only 21 hits, which means for you guys who don't do quick math, that's only hitting 183. So when you've got 4 guys who are only hitting 183, 10 walks, and 28 strikeouts, yeah, I did my homework.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna.
I was going to show up and just talk about it.
Well, yeah, because I know Matt Carpenter, what he is, kind of like you said, Bader. I've had enough of Matt Carpenter.
Like, one of them hits right, one of them hits left, and they both hit nothing. Gnats, oxygen.
That's about right.
That's about it. Yeah. So I
Hey,
mean,
but let's
let's
sign him. You know,
yeah,
we'll get him signed.
Hey, let's give Carpenter extension. Oh yeah.
As soon as we did.
Yeah. Good job.
Wow, gone.
Yeah.
Hey, we
Done.
could have had Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yeah,
and
we
Juan
could've.
Marco. I mean, we could have had these guys, but let's re-sign Carpenter.
Fernando Tatis Jr. leading the league in home runs right now.
Oh, he's
Still on bases, RBIs.
I mean, stud.
But
stud.
if he's going against baseball's code, the people who are,
I know.
I didn't know that was a
Hey,
code.
I
I mean,
didn't
I
either.
tell my guys to swing the bat.
Jim Powers says Miller's making sense here. So
I mean, usually,
That's unusual. I mean, gosh darn, what's going on here?
listen.
It must have been the Christopher in him, I guess.
Yeah, actually, it was an effective pregame. That's what makes it so much better.
That's what it
Effective
is.
pregame.
Yeah, I mean pregame planning for you guys. Who
yeah,
It was
okay.
the dinner
Scoring
here.
home.
It was the dinner here. At
Yeah, I had the
Chambers.
Riley Blair special.
Well, hey, nothing better. Nothing better.
That's true.
Nothing
So,
better.
some good things that are happening with the Cardinals. Goldschmidt's hitting over 300. Fowler's hitting over 300. And Brad Miller.
Brad.
I
must
know,
be the Miller
Brad
thing.
Miller.
Must be the
Must
Miller
be the
thing.
Miller thing.
Oh, gosh.
Wait, no. I think he's batting 8th tonight.
Yeah, that's
No,
good.
7th. He's hitting 7th.
What's O'Neill's
Fowler's hitting
average?
8th. I don't know. It
He's
doesn't
done
matter.
okay.
Bro Neal is putting the ball over the fence.
Well, I know.
Only-
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude is jacked.
I know.
I mean, he is absolutely
I wish
jacked.
I could walk around being jacked like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really work in the weight room like that. I'm like, man, that looks really heavy. And anyway, but I mean,
He must be working out with Tilden.
he probably is.
Yeah, there it is.
You know what? If he cared about his kids' education,
Oh, there it is. There's a shameless plug.
I knew it was coming.
you
Knew
know,
it
I
was
mean,
coming.
and then the other part of it is from the pitching standpoint. Wainwright looks like Wainwright of old,
Yep.
which helps.
Yep.
He's on my fantasy team. Love it. Go ahead.
Are you? What kind of fantasy team is it for 60 games?
Dude.
Dude, so
It's
how
serious stuff.
how have the Cardinals fared for you in the last?
Well, he's the
couple
only
weeks?
He's the only Cartwhile.
It's like everybody on
And
the
one of
Cardinals
my
is
leagues,
benched.
one of my leagues, he's the only Cardinal I have. I have
It's like
Tommy
profanity.
Edmond, which has been not so.
So Rick Bowen says, Jim Powers, what is wrong with you? Like, really? Chris Miller is making sense? Oh,
Man,
Rick Bowen.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Wow, I love it.
Man, I thought Slick Rick would have my back here.
Well, yeah, he did on that post earlier this week. Jeff posted up and said, well, "What would Charles Underwood and Rick Bowen say about you?" And Chris said, or Rick said, I have nothing bad to say about
But
Chris.
Charles
Right.
was interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting.
There was nothing about petroleum.
Petroleum jelly.
Rick did follow up by saying you coaches are looking good though.
Hey, see?
well, thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
There you
Well,
go.
that's one of the slickest refs. You know, he's always looking.
Wow.
He is always looking good.
Always.
You know, that's what I
now
hear.
Blair's mom has something to say.
Uh-oh.
Maybe shaving your beard would help.
Oh, yeah, that works.
But,
Hey, the hat helped.
yeah, the hat helped.
It does.
I'm
Shame
not
on-
blinded today.
It does.
Yeah, but you know what? We got one guy who isn't wearing a hat.
I know. You wanted me to get here early, so I got here early.
Does that mean you can't grab a hat on your way or what? Oh, I'm going to get here early. Oh, I don't have time to grab a hat.
Actually, I got one in the truck if you'd like to get me
Tom-
one.
no herky
Thomas
stuff.
hat?
Okay.
Oh, we can't
I
can't
get-
plug them until.
I have another Herculaneum hat in my car. I can go
Oh,
get
I'm
it.
sure I have one
Okay,
from like
Kyle,
15
listen.
years
I know
ago.
McVeigh thinks he did the best video.
Who says
commercial.
this? Who says this?
Oh, Bohr.
Oh, okay.
Bohr says you did the best video.
Okay, thank you.
He deserves that trophy. That's what he
Oh,
says.
piss on that. There ain't no way.
He didn't earn that trophy
No,
yet.
you can't talk to me.
I mean, I gave him a shameless
know.
plug in our group text earlier today. I
Yeah,
said
yeah.
earlier this week. I said, "Hey, that's a good commercial. Maybe you'll get you a spot, a full-time spot
Full-time
here."
gig now.
Oh, he evidently got a better headset than me tonight. So I mean,
Well, that's what happens. You show up last.
I'm
first or
working,
last,
man.
Ricky
I
Bobby.
gotta pay the bills, man.
Yeah, I'm just telling you.
Like this bill I'm gonna get after I leave here.
Anybody out there that's willing to give to give in to the Jason Jarvis headset fund?
No, I don't care about this headset. mindset. I care about getting.
Listen, as long as you're not shaking your head and
don't do that. Don't do
yeah,
that.
it just bounces
I'm
off
just
your
going to keep
face.
doing it so they won't get
Speaking
in this.
of, that's kind of like the pitchers. The pitcher.
I
you know,
thought
that
you were
gave
going
up-
somewhere completely different with that.
No, the pitcher that gave up the 4 bombs is. You know, you got to ask him how his neck feels after he.
Oh,
he
yeah.
pitched, you know?
Wild thing, Ricky Vaughn.
I noticed the Cardinal outfielders were just kind of like,
Well,
Yeah.
there's one.
It's like,
There's
do you
two.
even take a step back? No. It's like,
No.
like, man, that's really traveled.
Too high.
Too
high.
What do you mean too high? Who gives a crap? It's gone. Again, one of the most quotable baseball
Exactly.
movies
Off
ever.
Exactly.
the rails.
So I didn't say that.
Rick Bone says he wants to come listen with us.
Hey,
Rick, come on in.
anytime,
Bring him on.
Rick, you want to
Come on,
come
Rick.
on? As a matter of fact,
on
we'll
out.
have you on the show.
Yep.
yeah, bring him
Yeah,
on.
he can tell
He's got
all
some
of-
stories.
Rick Bowen has some stories.
Oh, I
Hey,
guarantee you.
Rick
he
Bowen's
does.
one heck of a softball player.
That's what I heard.
I've seen him play.
I've heard that.
Wait. More importantly, Rick Bowen is one heck of an official.
He definitely
He
is.
is. He
One
is.
heck of an
Definitely
Are
official.
you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I've
Why?
never heard you say any officials are okay.
Now listen, I told you,
I'm
they
just
never,
checking.
They never see it the way I do, and that's okay because I'm probably blind. But
But you're not Riley Blair, though.
I'm not Riley Blair, so I'm not over there.
I get it. Yeah. You don't get kicked out.
I
of,
don't know.
You
I've
don't
seen
get
you with
kicked
your
out of
arm
summer
crossed.
games.
No, I'm like this, and if you want to know, Eli Boyer might be watching. That's my pose.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
That's
it's
what it
usually
is.
only hands up. Like, well, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, back to what counts. So, do we think that the Cardinals can at least try to make something of it, or
I
do you
love
think that
the
they should?
doubleheaders?
I love
the doubleheaders.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, it just gives a different dynamic. The 7-inning games, well, like the 7-inning doubleheaders.
Yeah, so you love the 44 games and
35 days. something like
yeah,
that.
something
Here's
like
what
that.
They're
here-
professionals. They're millionaires. Go after it. Yeah.
Here's what I think. I think that
entertainment. It's all about.
Are you not
Are you not
entertained?
entertained? Yeah.
Well, and I
That's
also
awesome.
think that it's important. I think that you're going to see a more warmer, like a team you consist of. They play in so many games. They're not going to take a day off or 2 days off and lose their, mojo, as you call it. I think that's going to continue to just keep playing every single day. I think you're going to see a lot more guys get into streaks and continue those positive streaks. And those guys that aren't doing the having the positive streaks, they're going to see them go sit on the bench and maybe sit on the bench for a few games if that happens too.
And it allows the starting pitchers, gives them that confidence that, hey, if I can go 5, maybe 6 innings, then now we're right into a closer, whether it's Reyes, KK, or whoever they want down the line.
Right.
I'm still a guy who appreciates when a pitcher can win a game, and I know how. I think the way that baseball looks at wins in this day and age is insane because, and I remember when what's his name,
Fernando Valenzuela?
Felix Hernandez.
That's an absolute stud.
Yeah, he's a stud. But he won the Cy Young, I believe it was 2 years in a row, or if he finished first and then second. He had like 14 wins, but he was a stud. His ERA was great. He had a lot of strikeouts, but he's not winning games.
Right.
And if you look at the way that, look at the Cardinals, for example, they're rolling through bullpens. And basically, if you can get 4 or 5 innings out of a guy, that's great. But if you don't go 5, you don't get a chance for the decision.
Right.
I think the decision means a lot. I
Agreed.
still do. So either baseball has to update the fact that you need to be able to pitch 4 innings or whatever to get a decision based on the way that the game is now, or you go with the opener. And I'm not a big opener guy, but in a season like this, 60 games, where the bullpens are going to be used like crazy, especially look at the Cardinals and all the doubleheaders. Why wouldn't you go with an opener and then pitch your starting pitcher after the opener, and just say, look, we're gonna throw this guy out there. He throws heat. We're gonna go with Reyes. We're gonna go with somebody who's gonna absolutely pump it in there, and then we're gonna get it to the guy who should get the decision.
Okay, I'll counter.
You're a
counteract
baseball
that.
guy here.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Because of pitch count. If it was Nolan Ryan, if it was Roger Clemens, if it
Oh
was
wait,
Kurt
we
Schilling,
got to throw that out.
right? But I'm saying
No.
they would do that because they're not afraid of going
No,
90,
but-
100, 110. But you're not going to look at Reyes last night. He only pitched 1 inning because he got up to 30 or almost 30 or whatever.
pitches in
30
one
pitches.
inning.
So you mean to tell me 30 pitches? You can't go out for a second inning? I mean,
Well,
that's
I mean,
where we're
he's
at.
coming back from like how many surgeries and
You know,
Arenado.
You're a finely tuned athletic machine,
Oh, okay, all right.
and you can't go more than 30 pitches.
Well, I mean, I agree, but
That's why that's not going to work.
I would go with the
That's not
opener.
going to work.
Cologne. It
I
was
get
not
that.
a finally.
Yeah, Bartolo Colon is the
He would
anti your
He would go.
Forget your argument.
6 or 7.
Yeah, I mean, he was 6 or 7 cheeseburgers in the dugout at a time.
I always liked him on my fantasy team when he was on one of those streaks, man.
You know you're gonna get 10 wins out of him. And
Yep.
ERA maybe under 4, and he might hit a home run.
Yeah.
Mike.
Hey,
One.
No, it's crazy the difference. I mean, to what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's not a lot of Bob Gibsons running around, and it's crazy how they would sit there and pitch 9 innings and come back 5 days or whatever, 3 days. Bunch
Didn't matter.
Right.
didn't matter.
Which on the business side, if you think about it, like look at the New York Yankees. What's the pitcher they signed?
Garrett Cole.
Okay, Cole. Right.
Yeah.
So you're going to pay him all that money, and then you're going to treat him like a Fabergé egg. This is all just any pitcher. So you're going to treat that pitcher that you signed to a $250, $300 million contract and not let him pitch? Isn't that counterproductive? You paid him the money, let him pitch. I mean, I don't.
Oh,
Well,
Garrett Cole's been
Yeah,
pretty.
Garrett Cole.
Well, the other
That's
thing-
pretty
like-
good.
right?
yeah.
But I'm in anybody, whether it's a Flaherty or whether it's anybody else on any other team, you got to let them. You got to let them throw. You're giving them that money. Let them go.
And here's the other thing that I think about. You talk about Bob Gibson going 9 innings and throwing who knows how many pitches at that point. But what I want to know is, did those guys throw the curveballs and the change-ups at a young age consistently?
Well, did they play 75 games in the summer?
Yeah, and so that's kind of what I looking at as a standpoint. I'm watching an 11U baseball tournament this weekend,
Yep,
and I
yep.
see a kid throw, probably in 3 innings he threw 12, 13 curveballs at 11 years old.
11, that's
That's
ridiculous.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
what
I
are
would
you
wa-
doing
I-
about it with his arm?
My son's played select ball, pay, play, whatever. And I would watch a kid start every game, almost the first game of the tournament, and then catch the rest of the games of the tournament.
Yes.
And then come back, say
Probably
the
on
tournament
Sunday.
started on a Friday.
Right.
So then he would pitch the first game, catch the rest of the games on the other days, so on Saturday, and then come back Sunday and be
the
up there
tournament.
hurling again.
I know. That's what I say. I think that's what's changed the game of baseball, where you have guys like Bob Gibson that would go out there and throw 9 innings and wouldn't even think nothing of it, and it would be simplified. I just think that we're killing these arms at such a young age that we're affecting the game.
Well, they're
and we're
having Tommy
changing.
John surgery in high school.
In high school.
You got
In high
15,
school.
16-year-old kids that are having Tommy John surgery. That's crazy. That's just crazy.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I listen to Nolan Ryan, and I just remember back in the day and listen to my old man talk about baseball players pitching more than 9 innings.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to remember the Orlando Cepeda and whatever game he was talking about. He was just like, they went 16 innings. It was 1-0 because somebody hit a home run. And I'm like, man, why can't it be like that?
Right.
Why don't – I mean, when men are men. I keep going back to that. And the only thing that I try to tell him is baseball has changed so much. If you would have taken all the information that's available today, the video, the playback, you can find a hole in anybody's swing today, add the shift in, all of a sudden use that. Plus, on the hitter side, when we're talking about pitchers and what they have available to them, and hitters what they have available for the pitchers. So it's all back and forth.
Right.
It's totally different.
Right.
Back
Agreed.
then, it was just like, you know what, I'm going to get the ball and I'm going to pitch, and my job is to pitch, and I do not want to end up in the bullpen because that's where pitchers go to die. And there was some about that. There was some badge of honor. I'm going to be a starting pitcher, and this is what I'm going to do. And it seems like today, I know there's a lot more money tied up in it, but it's not the same because it's not. You're going to go out there every 4 days tops, and you're going to pitch. And my job is to get that decision. I've got to win this game. you don't have that. It's like, well, I went 4 innings and I got 75 pitches. I'm going to turn it over to somebody. Hell no, I want to pitch. This is what I want to do.
Right, and I get the balancing act of it with it's not even innings anymore. It's pitch count versus, your high pitch count versus number of innings, or trying to get that win. And as a manager, even as a general manager, they've got to make those decisions about. Look at Strasburg.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Postseason
look
3 years ago.
Right, but look at him now. He's also didn't he get hurt again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean,
what did it do for him?
Right, exactly. So if you're a fan, could you have seen him throw? And if he's going to get hurt anyway, at least maybe let him throw,
right, and
you get some return in your investment.
I mean, I hate to say it and sound like a kid, but you only live once.
Yes.
And you only have a certain amount of time that's given to you to use what the good Lord gave you.
Right.
Just go out there and play.
Right.
It's just like playing all these double headers. Again, I like to, for love of the game, you're playing a game, and you're getting paid money. You're getting played a game that kids are over here playing, out in the field. Go out there and play. You're getting paid to do it. Just do it. Who cares?
And you're getting paid well.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right, buddy.
That's another topic for another week.
Yeah. I think on that we need to go to a break.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's go to break.
Well, that was a downer.
Let's go to break.
And Blair wasn't even talking.
right?
Should have waited till
Chris
he was.
is just like, I'm just stopping it right now.
He was ready for
Ray
it.
gave me the super secret code word for
Okay.
break.
All right.
I did.
Nope. I just know if we don't go to break, like, you're going to break.
We need to go to a break. Okay. You're watching the Coach's Box. We'll be right back.
For fine Mexican cuisine,
A family atmosphere.
any place to watch your local sport teams. Come out to La Pechangas.
Check out our 4 locations: Arnold, Herculaneum, Crystal City, and Bonter.
Come out to La Pechanga.
Since their inception in 1980, SMCI has always been about high integrity and treating people the way you would want to be treated, just like family. Mostly known as a commercial contractor, SMCI has now decided to give the family treatment to everyone. They are now opening their residential department to the public as Home by SMCI so everyone can experience the home treatment. Everyone deserves maximum comfort in their very own home. Isn't it time you come home? Contact SMCI at 636-337-4444 or on the web at homebysmci.com.
I'm about to get teed up. What? I'm talking to them. I'm not talking to you. Are you kidding me? You're throwing me out of a summer league game? I'm not Riley Blair. I'm not going anywhere. Keep the free throws. Shoot the cops. Join us. Coach's Box, 7 p.m. live from La Pechanga. Tuesday night. See you there.
Guys, I've always wanted to ask you this since you're both pitchers. What's your favorite pitch? It's a fastball? Okay. I know. It's a curveball. No? Okay, well, what's your favorite pitch?
Spitball.
The Main Street Sports Show. You never know what we're going to throw at you.
Hey, this is Riley Blair from the Herculaneum Blackcats, and you're watching the Coach's Box on Livestream STL.
And we are back here. Thanks for watching the Coach's Box. We begin round 2 here. The guys are having such a blast, I had to turn their microphones off, so we're going to slowly bring them back here.
Oh,
3, 2,
This is, you did this. You did this to yourself.
I didn't join in on whatever that just was. But
Jarvis just like, what are you guys doing over there? Never know what they're doing.
Somebody's got a question for me.
Why did you pick these guys?
Do you drug test your coaches?
I love the theme song for the Coach's Box. What is it? Riley asked me about that, and this is actually what they call royalty-free piece of music, and it's called. There's a group or a compilation here called Super Beats, and the name. It's called We Got Beats is what it is. And the name of the song is Super Beat 8. There's like 40 super beats on it. So there you go.
Nice.
We got the beat.
Like a go-go song.
So there-
I can't say that.
We got the beat.
So there you go, Mom.
So if we put anything on here, will the Facebook police come and take us off? Like, no,
Well,
you can't do that.
That's why I usually use royalty-free music so we don't have that issue.
Well, I mean, if we
No Eminem for you or whatever.
Eminem.
yeah, because
Whatever.
he's gotten our
He's
stuff
Tupac.
booted before. And
I have been booted.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had to fight with everybody. On it.
I'm more of a Dr. Dre guy.
Okay.
Sorry.
But
Dr. Dre said.
yeah, you're a Dr. Dre guy.
Anyway, that's for another show. All right, so moving on to some more national news because we took a long time talking about the Cardinals. I mean, because we're all excited. Hey, they're back for now. I mean, Yachty did
I
get
love how you say that. For now.
For now.
Well, I'm excited about the other team in St. Louis right now too.
How about those
the
St.
soccer team.
Louis?
The Battlehawks.
The
Battlehawks.
Battlehawks.
Yeah, the Blues.
St.
So they
Louis
went from being kind of like, the Blues are playing.
Thought you were talking about the Stallions.
No, they didn't. They didn't never.
They were never a team.
St. Louis Stallions.
They didn't. No.
Hey,
No.
you're gonna get me going on Stan Kroenke here in a
Uh-oh.
second. So
We've already been on
let's
that.
quit talking
Let's
about
talk Cardinal
football.
baseball. Let's talk Blues hockey.
right.
We
So-
don't play football in
Talk,
St. Louis.
we only talk about 99.1 on this station. You know, come on now.
By the way, I was behind somebody on the shuttle.
Oh,
Guess what? I took a picture. I was going to send it, and I got carried away. Other stuff. I was going to send it.
hey, my wife does listen to 99.1 so I mean,
Well,
it's
I mean-
not, and I've listened to it, but man, those stickers.
But man.
those
But, man,
I love it. Love it. I had to put that in there, Jay. Sorry,
it's all
buddy.
right.
Can we let it die? But I mean,
No.
Yeah, we're going to kill it right now. We're going to talk about Blues hockey.
There we go. Let's
thank
go.
you,
Let's
because
go.
my
Let's go
wife's still
Blues.
mad at me about
All right,
it.
so before our show was on last week, the Blues were 0-3 in the round robin. Then they go and lay 2 eggs to Vancouver, and Bennington looked like he couldn't stop anything.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like
He
Stevie
couldn't
Wonder
stop a
trying
cold.
to play goalie. Stevie Wonder is not a very good goalie.
Do you know he's not truly 100% blind?
Do you know that it doesn't matter?
Yeah.
And Stevie Wonder's probably never played hockey
Well, you know.
and
I'm
or
sure he
goalie.
can skate.
Maybe. So anyway, that's exactly what first game 1. They lost.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
What?
You got muted.
You really thought I was going to say something there. Is that a dump button
That was
moment?
a bleep. That was a bleep button right there. So-
Wow, you got
New
bleeped.
technology. I
only
guess.
for guys that have the name Christopher, though. That's
Okay. Wow. That's good for them. My name's Chris.
Pretty soon he's going to be throwing things over there.
No, that's all right. I told you, I don't get mad anymore.
I get
So-
even.
he gets even.
So they lost 5-2 on Wednesday. Then they turned around and laid another egg and lost 4-3 in overtime.
They shouldn't have lost that game.
They really
And Bennington pretty much was terrible.
Ole.
Yeah, the first game he only had a 77% save percentage.
Gee,
77. That's not very good. And in game 2, he only stopped 84%. So basically,
now wasn't that part of that part on the defense?
Well, I mean, they look slow.
Oh,
they
one
look
where they
really
scored,
bad.
They scored the goal and they gave up the one right after.
Because it's not just him, or it's not just
no,
the goalie.
and it's
also
never just the goalie, but at the same time, when
That's
your
the
goalie,
spotlight.
if you look at last year's team, Bennington stands on his head a lot of times when the defense looks bad, the forechecking is bad.
Yes.
And
Okay,
he
so-
says, you know what, I've got this.
Yeah. So now is that going to be Allen this time?
Well, it's funny
Right
you
now,
mention that
I mean,
because
you look at these last 2 games, and Allen was phenomenal.
Jake Allen in Game 3, which was a win, 3-2 overtime, he stopped 95% of the shots. And then in Game 4, he stopped 95% again. It's
awesome.
So
He's
what
got to be
do you
the
do in
next-
Game 5? I would
Yes.
play Allen.
You have to.
Because
You ride the hot hand.
You have to. I mean, you got 2 good, and look, Jake Allen's a good goalie. Jake Allen is kind of a head case, but he's still a good goalie.
Agreed.
And he's playing
And when
well.
he's on fire.
When he's on.
Yeah, leave him.
I mean, look, in any sport, when you're playing a hot hand, and this is what led to Drew Bledsoe basically getting shipped out of New England,
Yes.
you play the hot hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter what sport it is. You play the hot hand. And you would as a coach, if this kid's playing over someone else and they're playing better, you're like, look.
I say, I think we all have these conversations
it's
come
like-
district time, right?
It's like,
No, we
look,
do.
you know,
Always.
I
Always.
love you as a kid, but so-and-so is playing better, and the numbers back it up. And
Kyle Boyer just said Miller Hockey uses 3 numbers, not 2.
What? What's he talking about?
I don't know, but that's
I
really,
don't
really
know.
funny.
Say
Tell us what that's all about, Kyle.
Yeah,
Appreciate
go ahead,
that.
Kyle.
So, do you have stats for this, though? Look at shots on goal for the Blues versus Vancouver. Is it somewhat close? Is
Well,
it not? I mean,
Oh,
is
they
it-
were. In a couple of those games, they were like, the Blues had more shots than one of them.
Yes.
I
The
think
Blues
they
have
lost.
outshot them in
They
every
have?
single
Okay.
game.
All right.
That's what I thought.
And
Okay.
and
Well, I
matter of
didn't
fact,
know. That's
except
what I
I
was
think for
asking.
one game, they've out-hit them in every single game.
Yes.
Okay.
But Vancouver plays fast. They're young. They play fast. The Blues play heavy. They rely on fortune. They rely on hitting.
Correct.
They rely on beating you to a pulp and keeping the puck in your zone. I know that Zach's not a hockey guy.
Well, and a lot of people were worried about the Blues because these teams haven't played a full season, so they haven't been beat on all year.
Yes.
And a lot of them have gotten healthy. And so kind of the Blues' MO is to beat the crap out of you.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then you're going to wear you out.
Wear you down.
And now, I mean, those 4 games, they have kind of beat the crap out of Vancouver. It's just
if you look at
you know.
if you look at the Stanley Cup last year, they wore down
yeah, they
Boston.
just wore 'em out.
By game 6 and 7, it was there was no doubt who they just beat them up. Or if you looked at the San Jose series last year, at the end of the San Jose series, there was like 5 guys not playing for San Jose. They were all hurt.
Correct.
Okay, now the
Now
Blues
the
are doing
tank,
this.
Now the tank did have to come back to St. Louis. Something wrong with the shoulder.
It's true now because Tarasenko is out, but at the same
They
time,
look better without him. I hate to say
I
it.
mean, a lot of
Anyway.
people saying
Well,
that.
did they say they went younger and faster? Was that? I mean,
Robert Thomas
Robert
is
Thomas
having
has
a
been awesome.
fantastic
Almost said
series.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can't say those words here. This is a family show, and you'll get the dump button.
Yes.
Even when
You go.
yeah, you just did it. I didn't even do anything that time.
Should I bring out the whistle?
I mean, if you want to.
Oh my God.
the
Kyle
air horn.
Boyer.
Should we tee you up? Here it is. Okay, so here it is. Kyle just posted.
Oh yeah, he says.
You have to look at more than the save percentage. Blues passes are more crisp, and they are getting to their form.
He learned this at Pius. All
Yes,
the hockey
Allen is
program.
playing much better and is
Pius
seeking the
has
puck
hockey?
much
No.
better than Bennington.
Oh, okay.
He
I
plays
got
in HL 20 probably.
He says Allen's save percentage is 957, not 95%.
That's
On the easy version.
957. 957 is 96% if you round up.
no, you don't round up.
It's
Whatever.
not. No, it's 957.
It's
It's similar to baseball and batting
Hey
average.
Kyle, just
all
go
right,
back.
Kyle. What were you doing again?
Go back to teaching math or something.
Do something else. Gosh. Like, to be real specific here.
Hey,
What?
don't mouth at him.
You're going to. Okay, Dylan Carlson's hitting 11%. Don't round up.
That's right. Don't.
Jeez.
He's not hitting
It's similar to
11%.
baseball and
it's-
batting average.
I guess. My bad. Whatever.
See,
Been watching hockey since before he was born.
This guy wants to.
You can tell me who Peter Bondra is without Googling it, then we can talk.
And you want to take this guy and let him be on your coaching staff? Man, that's not what.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do those kind of things. Talk about him like that.
Hey, does he ever talk back to you like that?
No, he
That's
doesn't.
what I thought.
No, he doesn't.
So you know what? Then that's fine.
Oh, wait, now Boar and you are going over there?
Wow. Hey, listen, we don't start rumors on the show.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
Hey, wait, that's probably the other show.
Oh, that's the other show.
And we never get to answer.
Hey,
just said it again.
The one we don't
Hey,
get
man,
to ask our questions.
I produced that show too, just so you know.
Well, we don't get to ask our questions. We've been over this.
Okay. I'll promise.
And so,
But we sure put his on here.
I promise it will. I promise it will.
I think Ray's going to be the MC this week.
I don't know. We'll have to see. Jeff's lost his voice, so
I saw that commercial,
so-
or kind of whatever.
You know,
it was.
his little blip.
Would that be karma?
Oh,
That's what you get.
Jeff Whitener getting some karma.
That's what happens
Oh,
when you
dude.
attack God's people.
Hey, Boar just came back with a reply here. No more scouting or points for you, Bill.
Yeah, that's all right. That's fine. I see.
I'm still good though, right? Yeah, right.
You were R7. There
You're
no
wearing
way.
the wrong
There's
blue.
no way. There's no way.
There's a reason why he asked that question. Are you going to run the same offense you did in North County?
He's already checking it out. So
We've got our file folder filled up with
Boy,
Zach McVay's offenses.
Zach McVay offenses.
Well, depends on who you ask. It's just throw the ball out and just
Well, yes,
It is what it is.
That is true. If you ask the right person, that's what they'll tell you.
So
He has no offense.
So anyway, I mean, so a while back, I was really kind of concerned about the Blues, obviously, because it's like, well, it was good. We had a good run. We won the Cup last year, but they're starting to play like the team that they should have been. I mean, when it looks like their legs are back underneath them. I know they had a lot of penalties in the last game, but they killed off all of those penalties.
When's their next game? Was it
Tomorrow.
tomorrow?
Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And my gosh, could they have gotten screwed any more on the times of
Yes.
these games?
They
I've been
could've.
up too
Could've been all-
late.
Could have been all the games.
Especially when I go back to work.
Well,
and now I got to stay up because I'm going to watch them.
Yeah, I mean, I was staying up last night watching the game, and I got to get up early and drive that shuttle. I'm like, okay, come on, let's go.
Oh, I
And
got
it's
one
like one eye open. And
I got one of these. Dad, they won. You can go to bed now. I fell asleep.
wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, that sucks.
Well, the other thing that they were talking about was, they went right into postseason with basically a 3-game warm-up, and
Yeah.
in
What you wanna
3
call
games.
it. Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's
Didn't
crazy.
they say their schedule was bad compared to the other teams?
Right.
Like it was spaced out.
Yes.
They didn't get.
yes.
Okay.
Well,
And-
hey, that's not the national media or the NHL not liking a Midwestern team.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it's not New York
doesn't happen?
or L.A. or
could
New
be.
York, L.A. I mean, kind of why baseball was still going because, New York, L.A. But anyway.
But I think that has a lot to do with, and like we all talked about, that the Blues are a team that's more physical, so I think it taking a little bit of a time for them to get back in the rhythm of playing that way.
Didn't we already?
yeah,
I thought we
he's
already-
late to the party.
Is he behind?
No.
He's on Pacific Coast time.
Do you have something else to add? Because we already had that conversation.
But you got to think about that team needs some game time experience in a row for that to happen. You never
to
said
get their
that.
legs underneath them?
You never
I
said
did
that.
say
and you're
that.
worried about me reading this?
I'm
shit?
telling you.
man.
Why do I even
This
put
guy
this
is
stuff out
lost.
there?
Oh, God.
Guys, look. I mean,
Christopher.
look.
Can't take you
He said
anywhere.
Christopher.
He's trying. He's really trying to get under my skin. Listen, for anybody who doesn't know, my name is Christopher, all 11 letters. If you want to spell it out, if you want.
You just don't like it?
My mom is real big and particular on it.
She is.
I really don't care.
She is.
Truth be
I'm
told,
pretty sure your
listen.
dad doesn't call you anything like
Yeah,
that.
there's other words that we would use, and I don't particularly like sharing those because then Ray would hit the little button, just like that, and that's just the way it is. So,
Well, let me ask, 'cause since I don't understand hockey, what about their offensive philosophy? Does that have anything to do with the puck in the goal? Right, exactly.
just like that,
Right.
Yeah, it's yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I get aggravated with the Blues because
Well, they gotta have fresh legs to do that, though.
So they need their legs underneath them. Is that what you said?
right on Blair.
Good. So
I'm here all night.
yeah, I bet.
What?
That's good stuff. Good stuff.
I think we nailed the Blues here.
I think it's been, Riley already helped us out there. We've got it.
Twice.
We got it covered
Twice.
Yeah,
So
you,
my question
train
is,
wreck of the show.
My question is, why did they decide to play back-to-back nights?
Just the way the schedule is sometimes.
But they don't do that in any other. So is every series like that? Do we have one game? I haven't really researched it enough.
This guy named Gary Bettman does whatever he wants. He's a commissioner.
Yeah.
And nobody likes St. Freis in the national sports at all.
Same as in college, Mizzou.
Yeah,
you wouldn't know because you don't root for any of the freaking Missouri sports.
Hey, but I did see the schedule came out for football, and then Mizzou opens up with Alabama.
They really did
there.
Mizzou so well, and
that
the
was
two
bad.
teams they gave them after that.
Yeah, so they open up with Alabama,
And then LSU,
and then
the
they
other
go
one that was added?
Tennessee, and then they come and do LSU the third week. So
And they
in
wonder
3
why
weeks-
people want to get the NCAA to go away.
Yeah.
Hey, but I tell you what about Mizzou, they are recruiting the St. Louis area well.
Yeah.
which is nice.
I'm really happy about that.
Much better.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So good,
And,
since that was not even in our show agenda.
Well, in our top 5, there could be
yes.
some Mizzou references. I'm
There
just
could
saying.
be. Yeah.
There is in mine.
Okay.
It's foreshadowing.
Yes.
For everybody who's-
Hey, even I know that, and we don't care about our education in Herculaneum, like they do over there.
That's pretty much like a Missouri learning standard right there.
Boer's got another good one
Oh,
here.
here he goes.
You need to talk. You
Head
need
to
to talk to
Alaska.
some Canadians.
Oh,
about
dude.
hockey knowledge next time you head to Alaska.
I'll bring it next time. It's in my room.
A map?
Blow
map?
up globe.
blow up
Blow up globe. I
You
have
should
it.
put it back here.
Geography.
Geography. Didn't you teach that once, McVeigh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've taught that.
Long time ago.
What's Boer know about that? What's Boer know about that? He's only a numbers guy.
Yeah, I mean, how many
Seriously.
miles it takes to get to Alaska the right way
He may know that.
by
he may know
land.
That. He may know that.
It's ironic. I mean, your
remember that,
assistant
Kyle.
coach is a math guy. Mine's a math guy.
Yeah, that's
you know?
right.
I mean,
That's right.
I don't know. It's helped you out a little more. I don't know.
Right now, I'm a little aggravated with him giving me crap on here, so I may fire him tonight. I may fire him.
You're fired.
You're fired.
I'll hire his wife. She'll do a much better job. So.
I guess, Kyle, you guys aren't going to be a package deal to Pius.
Listen, if I'm going to recruit coaches, I'm going to recruit them, not you. That's the only thing I'm going to recruit, too.
I'm talking about the girls' side here.
Yeah,
I
whatever.
mean, you already got Stole a Herky guy and everything else over there.
Well, you didn't offer him a job.
Well, hey,
Get on the ball.
Hey, I guess you
That's
got
what
to
I
win
thought.
whichever way you can.
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess.
AD's a Herky guy. I mean, do what you got to
Breaking
do over
news.
there, Pius. Do what
Breaking
you gotta
news
do.
from the live stream STL desk. Breaking news. Breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Not really. Not really.
Do we have like a sounder or something?
I know. I was looking away. I don't
was
see
like,
any breaking news. Well, the next topic there's Big Ten.
I thought you were going to say something. But
No, I was done with the Pius
Oh,
thing.
you were
I was
done with
getting
your
in
rant?
trouble. I was
No,
getting in trouble
that's
for
fine.
having some Herky grads
So
over
it's
there. I mean,
Day that ends in Y. Go ahead. Anyway, so on our local headlines, let's go ahead and jump right into that.
All right.
Our boy Jim Powers, who was on the show last week. Jim's a great guest, by the way.
Great, 100%.
Great guest, a lot of fun. I really can't wait for him to do some of our games, by the way. Jim, I know you're maybe watching, or you're watching and your wife says she's going to leave you to do that by
Oh,
yourself.
see, I must have missed something. I was looking at the thing here, and I thought we were talking Big Ten. I was confused.
No.
He's wanting to move on.
Yeah, I'm
He wants
moving
to
on
move
from that.
I know. I just wanted to get in trouble.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we spent a lot of time talking about the Blues and the Cardinals.
Yeah.
We'll have to do this another time, see how that works out. So,
I have something to say on this alternative schedule. That
so
they're-
real
Go ahead.
quick.
You want to save that for
let's-
the tirade?
No.
No.
Jump
Okay,
in
just
right
check it.
now.
Just check it.
So, Jim Powers on Twitter basically just comes out and he says that there's several St. Louis County schools that are probably going to move to this alternative schedule that we discussed.
Well, I don't think we discussed it
Last
last
week.
week. It
We
didn't come
did.
out until after.
It didn't. Yeah, you're right.
Came
You're
out
right.
on Thursday.
So, basically, we have an option for an alternative schedule where fall sports can be played in spring, and that's what Misha has said that that's an option for schools to do. So you can go ahead.
I've also heard though that there's some schools saying, "Well, we're not going to start until September." Okay,
Right.
so at Herky, where we're going to try to play a 10-game schedule, and your team's not going to start until September. But then if we're in the same district, you're going to be rested.
Yeah.
We're not because we're
Right.
going to try to play 10 games. How is Michigan going to decipher all this? That's what I'm trying to figure
I've
out.
got the Debbie Downer answer if you want me to give you that.
Yeah, go for it. Then we can do the little sound effect afterwards.
Yeah, wah, wah. Yeah, it's going to go to this. It's going to go to this alternative schedule. Over under 6 weeks.
Listen now, you are not using sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns with.
I'm telling you.
Where's your optimism at?
St.
Realist.
Louis
we were talking about that. Realist, right?
St. Louis.
Yes.
St. Louis may go
And
to the
Kansas
alternative
City.
schedule.
Yes, and Kansas City, and Columbia, and Springfield.
So
What
basically,
about all the areas around that?
rural schools
these
don't
rural
matter.
schools don't want to do it.
That's what Michigan said. Rural schools don't matter. Forget you.
I just
Money. Money, per usual.
You know what? There's going to be a time when there's going to be people from Michigan watching this show.
Yeah.
And they're going to be calling you.
But they also stated that you're going to.
You shouldn't say that. You don't say that.
If schools do not choose to do the alternative, and they choose to do fall, and then those kids want to choose to do the spring, then let's just say that, okay, we go through this, and the date they pick is September 11th. You got to make a decision by. Is that right? September 11th, I think, is you have to make a decision by to do the alternative. I think that's what I read.
September 11th?
That's what I thought it would be.
So I could
So
sit.
you're gonna play
some
4
teams will
games,
play
3
4 games already.
Yes.
know, that's
So
the
you
other
could
thing.
play 4 games and then decide, we're going to go the alternative and go to the spring.
It's kind of like redshirt, right?
So, but then they're going to say, well, you can allow your athletes to choose if they want to do the alternative fall sport or they can do the original spring sport. They can do one or the other.
Not the way they have that alternative schedule.
No,
put out
that's the
there. It's not like-
alternative. That's the alternative. So if they want to do the regular spring, the normal spring schedule, that's right in the dead center of that alternative. So what are you going to do with kids with that?
I thought they had it set up so that everything was pushed back and the spring sports would be all the way until July.
No, that was an alternative
That's
side.
the alternative one.
So-
So right now there's 2. There's the regular mission schedule, the regular calendar, and this alternative calendar. And so basically he's saying what happens when you get into it to where are you going to do both? Are you going to fall into the category of you're going to have to choose regular or alternative?
And what happens to those kids that maybe do both sports? And let's say that your school didn't do fall, but you're going to do the alternative, but you're still going to do the regular spring sport. So now those kids got to decide: am I going to do the alternative full fall, or are they going to do the spring?
At a school like our size, I mean that's
can't do it.
impossible.
It's
I mean that'd be
impossible.
like
It's not even that. It's also scheduling because
a nightmare.
what teams are doing what and how you're going to play.
Yeah, I mean, how do you? There is no postseason.
No,
It does,
I don't know.
if this even comes about, there's no way. And then, like you said, do you choose to do one or the other? You can't share the athletes. It is a scheduling nightmare. Wait, even worse, we haven't even thought about this. What about officials? Because some officials do multiple sports.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now you don't have officials. And it's not like there's a short. Oh, wait, there is a shortage of officials. So how do you do that? How do you allow that to happen? You need to either, Grandpa always said, you got to poop or get off the pot.
Right.
That's exactly what needs to happen with Michigan. Either you're going to move these sports to spring, or you're not. You can't have your cake and eat it too. And that's exactly what's happening right now.
Well, we were just talking about this at football just the other day. I mean, that's totally crap if a team's going to wait till September 11th. Oh, we're going to play the fall schedule.
Well, think about what are the schools doing that are not starting next Monday, because there's already schools around the area that are saying, hey, we're going to go the following week, if not the week after
We're
that.
going after
Are they
the
still,
Tuesday after Labor Day. That's
are
what
they
some
s-
schools are doing.
Okay. Are they still doing sports, or are they canceling sports? Have you heard? Have you not?
There's
I
been
don't
no
know.
stipulation of
I
that.
haven't-
Okay.
yeah, I haven't heard.
Only thing I've heard is, I know a couple schools down in middle area are moving start dates back to first week of September. So start dates of school altogether. So, I mean, you got to think about when that comes down. I think Coach Miller, didn't you say that your kiddo was going to school somewhere starting later or something?
Yeah, Arcadia Valley is starting school on September 8th.
Okay.
First day back is September 8th. And they're doing either the choose virtual or go in person. And I wanted to go to school in person. I know there's a lot of risk with it, but I think that it's a better alternative for her to learn.
Right.
And they're starting on September 8th. They had a couple people who tested positive. So instead of just saying we're going to put these people in quarantine, and I don't know the situation, we only get information through email. they're just going to move everything back. And it's like, well, okay, that's great, but now they're going to tack on 2 more weeks at the end of the school year. So my daughter will probably go into school in July when it's all said and done.
Well, and so my question is now, just like Coach said, are those athletes going to still practice every single day? Or does that mean that shuts down until school starts?
Depends on probably who tested positive.
Correct.
Because I believe it was staff members. So when that happens, I mean, look, and we can all think about what we want as far as how we feel with the virus or the mask or everything else. The fact of the matter is the only thing you can control is yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the hardest thing to tell anybody who's a high school kid who's been cooped up. All of a sudden you get an opportunity to be around other kids, and you have to say, hey, you need to social distance. Hey, you need to wear a mask. Hey, they're like, I don't want to do this crap.
Right.
If you want to do sports, if you want to have a school year in person, just do what we're telling you, and let's let the chips fall where they may. Because that's the best case we can do.
This was the second day of me going back to work, and kids are going to do as us as adults promote. Whether I agree or disagree with wearing a mask, I'm going to be so dang happy about it. I'm going to tell these kids, hey, you want to be here at school? Wear a mask.
Right.
And if you're not, they're going to find an option for you.
Sure.
And if you want to play sports, we got to wear a mask at school.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like them, but I'm going to put it on my face because, hey, I'm at school.
Yeah, you cover
I do
that
not
face.
want to teach. I mean, most of us that are teachers want to teach kids in
missed
class.
that.
Right.
I know, it's too easy.
I just I don't want to put the mask on my face. Jason,
I say you need to cover your face.
Whatever. Terrelyn doesn't think that. I'm good. So, I mean, if they want to play sports, they're going to do what you want them to do.
Right.
And they did. While we're on the subject, they just said that in football we're not going to be able to wear gaiters.
Yeah.
So how are these?
I told you about that study. That Duke study.
No, it had nothing to do with the Duke study. It had to do with they outlawed it because if they grab it, they could choke you getting tackled in football. That's what we were told.
I mean, it's not like they could put their arm around your neck.
So what are you going to now? We're like, okay,
gosh.
so where are they going to put their mask when? Okay, so my son, he's going to probably kick maybe for varsity. So he's going to sit there with the mask on. Where's he going to put his mask when he goes to kick? Who's going to
on his helmet?
In a pocket? No. I mean, there's so many things. I'm like, oh man,
it
we
is a
thought
little
the
ridiculous.
gaiter would be awesome because then they just lift it up when they need to have it on, lift it down.
Maybe you should have a penalty if they grab the gator, like they do with the face mask.
Would that be a face mask penalty? Do the same thing?
I mean,
or horse collar.
Yeah,
Horse
horse collar.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we can make football
What about
completely
here?
safe
Okay,
by
here.
saying
Let's
you
ask
get to use one hand and touch.
Well, we could do like a
flag.
Some of the other.
Yeah.
I saw that a state. I don't even know what state it was, but they're playing strictly two-hand touch or something.
Flag football.
Well,
What
let me
state was
ask
that?
you about this.
I don't know, but I read it today. I was actually
Do
reading
they
it
practice socialism?
I don't know. I have no clue.
Oh my gosh, we're not getting off on that.
The views of St.
I was waiting for
the
Ray.
views of the coach's box.
But when we talk about the COVID and we talk about potentially shutting down, all it takes is a lineman. All it's going to take is a lineman, not a skill player, not a QB, it's going to take a lineman. Because as soon as you take the line out, now it's 7-on-7.
It doesn't even matter if one person gets COVID. Say we play Pius, and Pius has a COVID patient. We find out
COVID patient?
COVID
patient.
It is
Okay, someone. Well,
patient zero.
That's right.
Okay,
I
whatever.
get what you're saying.
A person, I mean,
Yeah.
a person gets it,
Right.
then both teams are shut down for 2 weeks, basically.
It seems just a little.
So how long? Well, how long is the season even going to be if we have it?
Well,
That's
here's
why I say I think going back to this, I think it's going to be the alternative schedule
But
in about 4 weeks.
my
But
other.
what's going to change?
Michigan's going to come out and say,
Alternative
yeah,
schedule.
we're going to maybe do that now.
Well,
Can you come into
We
work
listen,
on
we listen to the coach's
Thursday?
box.
but
after reviewing the show.
Yeah.
But my concern with this whole thing is, what are we doing to our athletes by putting them out there right now, doing all of this stuff that we're trying to do to kid to get a season in? We're telling them to follow these rules, and they're doing it because they want to play, and then we're going to shut them off and say, well, one person in so-and-so place didn't do this, so that's going to affect you. How is that fair to those kids that have worked their tails off to follow every single rule that they're told to do and do the thing the right way?
It's the same fairness as the kids who didn't get to play baseball in spring sports last year.
Agreed.
And they're going to say, well, there's a bigger picture here.
I don't. If somebody smarter needs to explain to me
what's the bigger picture?
Whatever Dr. Fauci makes money wise.
Well, I don't care about him.
It's a smart virus.
It's a smart virus. It knows everything. It's like Santa Claus.
Well,
knows when you're awake, knows when you're not social distancing.
He ain't gonna let you talk, is he, Big Bay? McVay wants to get something out.
You know what? Have a commercial here. You know what? Every time you talk, you're teed up. How about that?
Oh my gosh, you're really hurt about this
really
commercial.
not. I really don't care. I think it's funny.
I was gonna
somebody
say something
asked
else,
me,
but I want to get in trouble.
Somebody said, does everybody really think that you get teed up a lot? I'm like, I was most likely to get technical fouls this year.
That's exactly why. Yeah.
Thank you, voters.
Thank you.
Well, you guys
Vote
should
again.
For Blair.
Keep voting. Keep voting.
Yeah. Make a new poll. How many people think Blair should wear a hat?
Yeah. He finally gave in. What were you trying before he rudely kept interrupting?
My question was about September 8th. So AV's going to start. So magically, everything's going to be okay.
That's what
starting
I'm
2
saying.
weeks
No,
later?
that's November 4th. That's what. Wait.
Break.
No, I remember that's what one of our viewers, Jeff Ketcherside, said. I'm just going with
Man,
what they
throwing
said.
him under the bus too.
Well, if he's not watching,
you know this guy doesn't think that. I mean,
I'm objective. I ride the middle.
Ray's breaking.
Ray's like, we're going to break now.
Are we doing top 5 when we come back?
Yeah, when we come back, we're going to do our top 5 of any of the players that we've ever coached against, any sport. So this should be a little bit fun. We're also going to do the Cranium Cup trivia.
I don't even
care.
I'm not even going to do it. I'm going to go up there and order food.
Coach Jarvis said he is out for trivia because he never wins.
And the winner is...
Sounds like a very sore loser.
Am I the only one that hadn't won?
No.
Me and you got to do
Me and
something.
Blair have owned
well,
it.
Well, you know, when they're asking questions about what girl pitched against Babe Ruth.
That was a really terrible question.
That was awful.
Hey, at least it's not even me being sour grapes.
Well, I didn't even know a girl pitched to
But
me.
who got it right?
Until last
Who got it right?
He got it right.
Yeah, you know.
Well, you are a girl's coach.
Lion squirrels find acorns too, and then they die later.
He does have the cup.
Take
and
it.
you
Right.
don't.
That's great.
It is in
Scoreboard.
Herky's corner.
Scoreboard.
Well, another
Scoreboard.
Mark it
5-2.
down.
Scoreboard.
Herky again's going to win today.
All right.
Take us out of here, Chris Miller.
Yeah. So, what? I was talking
Wow,
to them.
Ray
So
even has a
just
Herky
take
hat
us
on.
out.
I like it.
I do.
Yeah, you are
Yeah.
wearing a Herky hat.
Hey,
All right. So
all three of us are wearing 3 different Herculaneum hats.
We
So
are.
How about that?
We are.
Sorry.
Hey, before we go to,
shameless
there is
plug.
a comment. There is some comment on
Is
here,
there?
and I want to make sure that we get it. Dave Crump says some teams that we play from St. Louis will not start practicing until August 26th, and we're supposed to play them in like 2 weeks after that. So
They're gonna be ready.
You know that, and then Brandy Hamilton says at the end of the day, these poor kids are getting screwed.
Yep.
So
Well, I really want to say something to that because I'm just going to. Yeah. Okay. Brandy's cool.
thank you, Brandy, for your
There
comments.
you go.
Appreciate
There you
it.
go. So when I say take us out here, it goes like this.
Maybe this is something you should have told me yesterday.
Where's the cue card?
You're watching the coach's
Being
box.
able to
We'll
read
be
coach
right
box.
back.
And we'll be right
That's how
back.
it goes. All right.
Hey, this is Coach Riley Blair. And
I'm
we're watching
Ron
the
Burgundy.
Since their inception in 1980, SMCI has always been about high integrity and treating people the way you would want to be treated, just like family. Mostly known as a commercial contractor, SMCI has now decided to give the family treatment to everyone. They are now opening their residential department to the public as Home by SMCI so everyone can experience the home treatment. Everyone deserves maximum comfort in their very own home. Isn't it time you come home? Contact SMCI at 636-337-4444 or on the web at homebysmci.com.
This live stream STL has been a huge asset for Jefferson County sports, in my opinion. I mean, getting these
athletes the camaraderie that they're out there and people can see them. I mean, to be honest with you, I got a call from a coach yesterday about one of my athletes that said that they saw some of her games on Livestream STL.
Awesome.
So, I mean, that right there instilled to me that this is important. This is important for those kids. And so, I think it's great, and I wish you guys the best. And if you're out there and you want to sponsor, this is a great opportunity for kids to support kids of our local kids and get them support and get them acknowledgement out there, because we have a lot of great athletes in this county.
We appreciate that. And at the end of the day, our mission is much the same as your missions, coaches, to help shine a light on these kids and get them exposure and get their name out there and help them. And if they can advance, they're better off, we're better off as a community, and that's why we're here.
I'm about to get teed up. What? I'm talking to them. I'm not talking to you. Are you kidding me? You're throwing me out of a summer league game? I'm not Riley Blair. I'm not going anywhere. Even shoot the free throws. Shoot the cops. Join us. Coach's Box, 7 p.m. live from Robert Jenkins. Tuesday night. See you there.
Guys, I've always wanted to ask you this since you're both pitchers. What's your favorite pitch? It's a fastball? Okay, I know. It's a curveball. No? Okay, well, what's your favorite pitch?
Oh, yeah. Spitball.
The Main Street Sports Show. You never know what we're going to throw at you.
For fine Mexican cuisine,
A family atmosphere.
any place to watch your local sport teams.
Come out to La Pechangas.
Check out our 4 locations: Arnold, Herculaneum, Crystal City, and Bonter.
Come out to La Pechanga.
Hey, this is Riley Blair from the Herculaneum Black Cats, and you're watching the Coach's Box on Livestream STL.
Welcome back to segment 3 of the Coach's Box. We're going to have our top 5 here, and gentlemen have put together the top 5. And remind me what your top 5 is again. I wanted to make sure I got this right here.
He doesn't even know.
Riley, go ahead. What is it? Top 5? Oh, hold on. I'm sorry.
Gotta unmute us.
Try it again.
I'm on.
I'm not.
Check, there you go.
That's what you get for that commercial.
So it is the
I gave
top,
him a couple bucks.
It's the top 5 athletes we've coached against.
Okay.
Top 5 athletes we've coached against.
So it's not our players or any current.
And why don't we
former-
start with you?
Sure.
Starting right.
Gosh.
And I have 5 of these, and they're in no particular order.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
It's supposed to be a top 5 in an order.
Well, I'm not going to do
Trey,
that.
and Trey
because
would go.
here's the thing with before I go through my 5. You know, I've coached
5 to 1.
I've coached 5 different sports basically at Herculaneum, so I've got a little bit of a
Clout.
a different side when you come into different athletes. So I'm going to kind of go around with different sports. But my number 1 here, the first one on the list that Ray's probably got up on the screen there,
I sure do.
is Megan Skaggs. She's a girls basketball player from Park Hills. She was a really good basketball player, and then went on to Central Missouri. She played really, really well for them. Broke a lot of records over there, and got them to the NCAA tournament.
Won it.
Yeah, yes. So, I mean, she's just an all-around great player, and if you ever met her and talked to her in person, she's a really down-to-earth kid. I got to be able to talk to her when we played them her senior year, and I mean, she just talked to me like she was known me for years. So, great athlete and a great basketball player, and has done some great things at the collegiate level. The next one is Matt Stites. Coached against him in boys baseball. He played for Festus there, and then I went on to play for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Just an all-around great athlete. Did a lot of great things for Festus 253 baseball as well. Comes from a very athletic family, and just an all-around phenomenal baseball player. Could really throw the baseball on the mound. So that was number 2. Number 3, Marcus Golden, boys basketball player from Afton, football player as well. Went on to play at Mizzou, and then went on to play for the Arizona Cardinals. Just a freak, really, athlete. I mean, honestly, if you get to watch him, Dan Oliver will tell you a lot about him. He coached him.
Yeah, he talks about him all the time.
We played him in basketball, and they called him the man child. He was just
he was all right.
He was freaking a stud. That was my boys basketball player that I coached against, and what an awesome athlete. The 4th one is my cross country runner, a girls cross country runner from St. John, Taylor Warner. Just an all around phenomenal cross country runner. I know you say that don't coach against them, but this young lady put a lot of time and effort and work into being a top-notch cross-country runner, and then I went on to run at Arkansas. She is still running there currently, and I think she just broke her PR from the 1,500 meter this week. There was a KFMO just posted that today. So just an all-around phenomenal cross-country runner.
Hey, I've got a question on that.
Yeah.
How do you coach against a kid, though, in cross-country? Do you just, run faster than that kid? What do you do?
Go get him. Go get him.
Sounds like my track.
Yeah, that's right, buddy.
Coaching.
You got to make it happen.
How do I run faster, Coach? I don't know. Run faster than that person and
turn left.
Turn left.
That's about
turn
it.
left. Turn left.
Now you can turn any way in cross-country. Just run faster.
And my number 5 athlete is the girls basketball player from North County, which Coach McVeigh got the pleasure to coach, and Miss Holly Forbes. She went to Mineral Area, and then I think he said that she is be a senior this year at Robert Morris, a Division I athlete. So just an all-around great player. I mean, if you wanted something done on the floor, you put the ball in her hands, she's going to do everything she could possibly do to make it happen. And she was a fun kid to coach against just because you knew what she was going to do when she stepped on the floor. You knew she was going to give you everything she got. Yeah. So you had to defend her. You had to make sure that she didn't touch the basketball. So there's my top 5.
There you go. We're going to start next with Coach McVeigh.
All right. So my top 5 list are all local except for one. And like Coach Blair, I've coached multiple sports here. So my first one goes into football. I know it's junior high football, but you could tell these guys.
Banners.
But you could tell that these kids, even in junior high, were just head and shoulders above everybody else. And that was Andrew Graves from R7. I think he went to CMO. I don't know where he's currently at. I had heard maybe he was injured or whatnot, but I don't know. But he was just head and shoulders above everyone else.
Good thing they had a good defensive coordinator that year.
True.
That's right.
Whatever. Jailbreak Blitz. And then the other one was Brandon Bourbon from Potosi, and he went to Kansas for football. He was, I don't know, he was just phenomenal. You could just tell right away that he was just, a special athlete as a junior high kid.
Yeah, he almost made my list.
Yeah. Number 4, Coach already talked about, was Megan Skaggs from Central. She helped win a Division II national title for Central Missouri State. she was just fun. She was fun to coach against because she was that player she was that Bill Bradley type, that tweener. That she could be a post player. And
Bill Bradley reference?
Yes.
I love
All
it.
right. Yes.
2 weeks in a row.
CC alum.
Crystal
you know?
City grad right here.
It's
But
like a thing
anyway.
they have to do.
Huh?
It's how you get invited back for
Exactly.
alumni stuff.
Yeah.
Gotta drop
But
Bill Bradley's
exactly. But no, she could be a post player. She could beat you off the dribble. She was fun to watch. Number 3 on my list now. At Grandview, when I coached baseball there, we went down to Kentucky for a wood bat tournament, and we got to play a private team called Mater Dei out of Evansville, Indiana, and they had their center fielder. His name was Will LaRue, and you talk about just a baseball player, the build, the speed. He was just a stud. And actually, after he graduated a couple years, I wanted to find out where he went. So he went to Xavier, and was his senior year before he got hurt was 11th in the nation in stolen bases. And so he was one of the premier base stealers for all of college baseball. He was fun to watch. I know it's not a local guy, but he was just on a different level. Number 2, we played against. You guys actually beat them last year. Was Reagan
Daly?
Yeah, Reagan Rabert from Union.
Yep.
You know, you talk about D1 athlete. I know she's just barely 5 foot tall, but the hype was real because I had several people. Hey, you're going to see this girl, and you know what? She's legit. And whatever. She came out. First shot was probably about 6-7 feet behind the 3-point line. Bang. I don't know. She probably dropped 30 on us, but she was fun to watch. And then lastly, Alex Winkleman from Crystal City. He went to SEMO. Yeah, he went to SEMO and then was drafted by the Astros organization. I think he made it up to the Corpus Christi Hooks, and I don't know what he's doing right now. But we actually that year, his senior year, Grandview, we were going to play against. We played against them for the conference title. Well, Crystal had Valley the next day, and that was going to be who was going to be the 1 seed or 2 seed for districts. So we thought we're not going to get Winkleman. We'll get somebody else, and we were all pumped up because we were going to have a actual shot of beating or competing against Crystal. He came out 5 innings, shut us out. I mean, I think he bunted for a double, stole third, stole home, and 17 strikeouts. He was a real deal. So he was fun to watch.
Definitely was.
Yep.
We move on to Jason Jarvis.
Did he
fall asleep? Did he fall asleep for a second?
Okay over there? I also have coached a variety of sports, girls basketball, boys basketball, football, track, but my list is going to be just football and basketball. And basketball-wise, I had a hard time deciding who to put on here. So I'm going to go from 5 to 1. So 5th on my list was Easton Knoll, who played for R7. Thorn in our side. He a hard kid to beat, could really shoot the rock, could handle the rock, was a good leader, was the MVP of our conference 1 year. Probably should have been 2 years, but he was a darn good ball player. Most people probably know who that is. 4th on my list is Michael Brewer. Now, of course, he's drafted in baseball, but I'm talking about basketball. I have not coached baseball. So Michael Brewer from Hillsboro, I think he dunked against us his senior year like 4 times or something. I don't know. But he's pretty darn good. I mean, he was a D1 athlete and is a professional baseball player. His father was a heck of a ball player.
Yeah, he was. He was.
Matt.
And my brother Dave would always talk about his father Matt. 3rd was Jeremy Shaw.
Oh, man.
Valley Park.
I'm having nightmares watching him dunk over Sam Husky.
They ran.
Poor kid.
I want me and Tank about went at it, but they were killing us by like 30. And this was his junior year. Now, his senior year, they weren't as good. But his junior year, they ran an inbounds play for him, one-handed, went up and just got it.
You know
and
exactly what that
just-
play is.
You know exactly. Well,
I saw it too, huh?
Yeah, I've seen it, all right.
And our kids knew what it was, but it didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
Yeah, Jeremy Shaw.
Too high.
It's too high. Coach, I can't jump up that high.
He's currently attending North Central Missouri College. He will be a sophomore, and I saw that he had a decent freshman year. So he's a quality. I forgot Easton Knoll. He's going to Culver Stockton. And, of course, Brewer's playing Major League Baseball, or not
For the,
Major League,
well,
but he's
for
in
the
minors
Rangers. Yeah, he's
for the
in the
Rangers.
Rangers, yeah.
The top two were two of my hardest, and this goes back to my days at Crystal City, as I see McTray reference there on the notes.
McTray.
We got to see this sometime.
Yeah.
Jimmy Jackson, who is the current head football coach at Caruthersville, went on and played at Mizzou, and he was a nightmare for a scouting report. We played against him when we had some decent teams at Crystal, but we always kept running up against Caruthersville after districts, and Jimmy Jackson was a phenomenal running back. I mean, phenomenal. And he is, as a student athlete, after a game, was one of the most humble kids that I'd ever spoke to after a game. And, you know, Caruthersville sometimes got a little bad stigma about some of their kids and the way they acted, but he is a class act and was when he was at Caruthersville. And he did some good things at Mizzou, too, returned kicks for him, and then eventually got some carries as a running back. I mean, Blair wouldn't know any of this. He doesn't root for Missouri teams.
It's all right.
You got it, buddy.
He's got time Jesus saved.
Last but not least, the best athlete I've ever probably had to coach against is Brian Allen of Maplewood.
Great.
Man, just
Absolutely. And I'm talking about football. I was coaching on the girls' side at Crystal City when I had to watch our boys have to play him in basketball too. And
it's fun to watch.
He was phenomenal on both the floor and on the field. And I remember him as a freshman, and he was. They put him at they ended up putting him at quarterback, and he's scrambling all over the place. I mean, we killed him when he was a freshman, but I'm like, oh boy, he's going to be 3 more years of him. And by his senior year, it was districts. We're against them. It's like 7-6 at half, and he touches the ball 4 or 5 times in the second half and scores on all 4 or 5 of them. The field was completely muddy. It was at Crystal before the turf, and that dude, he was a dude.
Beast.
I mean, when you say dude, like we say that a lot in football, man, that guy's just a dude. And Brian Allen, if you got to see him, and I know if you look him up, one of the worst highlights of his probably college career is when he returned a punt, like his freshman year, he gets clocked. But one of the greatest athletes I've ever seen.
I watched him play Charleston in the state championship game.
Yep.
And
Right at the end.
he was an absolute stud. And then they played, I think, Lutheran North the next year. And he's
when they won on the out of bounds play at the end. Yep.
Brian, he was
unstoppable.
phenomenal. I mean, he was phenomenal watching. I sat there and debated on this. You know, I was the last one to turn these in because
Good job.
Yeah, you were. Because I was
Wait till the last minute.
I was reaching.
I bring myself.
Well, I mean, there was other people. I mean, Kobe Klaus. I mean, there was all kinds of people I could have put on here that I coached against, and it was really hard. I mean, there's, some guys over there that played at Crystal that were pretty good that I've had to coach against in the Gears, and
Boy, Eli was great.
Sample.
Man,
I didn't coach against him. I was actually coaching at Crystal then. And
he was fun to watch. He was that group, smooth. Yeah.
Oh, that group, I mean, when that Jericho Shanklin and that whole group, that was
Bueller.
We had a heck of a run there when I was at Crystal. But I'd still say some of the best times of my coaching and teaching career was at Crystal City.
Well, I was just say that you guys had a run in football. You guys had a run in basketball.
And it wasn't just boys; it was girls too. Our girls. I was surprised you didn't put Cooper down as one of yours.
I had her down
she
in
was
the
an
list.
absolute stud for us, and Kilgore and several other kids. But
that was a fun year that year.
That was a fun span there in the 2000s there at Crystal City. But then R7 built the high school, so then too. But anyway.
Man, taking shots, aren't
I
we?
take shots at Hey, R7, Pius. I got to take shots.
Don't matter who it gets. Always taking shots.
Speaking of St. Pius, let's finish this up here with Mr. Chris Miller.
Well, I mean, I've been around a little bit, coached a couple things. I'm going to start out my top five, and start at number 5 is Coben Porter from Father Tolton. It's very fortunate.
Hey, look, you got the shirt on.
Yeah, I know. When we took our team at Grandview up to the Norm Stewart Classic.
What a neat experience, by the way.
Played at 7 o'clock prime time. Had the whole Porter family in the stands.
Awesome.
And, we wagered 18 total points while they dropped 71.
Beautiful.
I remember when you were headed up there.
Rough game. But that Porter kid, he could play.
Did you go to Shakespeare's Pizza? That's all that matters.
You know what? I try to. At this point, I was just kind of like,
it's blocked. It's blocked out of memory.
I don't remember
I'm a big
all
fan
that.
of CJ Wings up there. But anyway, go ahead.
So he would have graduated this year, but he tore his meniscus, and he's actually going to go to a prep school and try to play one more year and get some college offers that way. So COVID helped, I guess, with a little bit of that. Anyway, they got a good program up there, and the Porters, they've been pretty good at basketball at Tolton.
Boy, has
a little bit.
Porter not looked good lately in the bubble. Oh man.
Yeah. Wish he'd look good for Mizzou. Yeah. Anyway, the next one's
That was
actually
depressing.
Yeah, I know. Next one's actually a baseball thing, but it wasn't. It was when I was an assistant coach, and the kid was just fantastic. Zach Levi, and he played at North Callaway when I was at Sturgeon, and we played them. This kid went on to go to Mizzou, and then still does play independent leagues. I mean, it's hard, He was a left-hand hitter, played outfield. He hit 3 bombs that I've never seen a person hit a home run in person. At that point, I mean, they went over a house, and he was a big left-handed kid, and he just smoked the ball, and it just kept going. And I'm pretty sure he might have even hit a kid who was playing in their backyard. Didn't matter. I mean, he just a man-child. And we obviously didn't win that. We had a pretty good team that year. So that's my baseball reference. Number 3 is David Prater. I got to throw a little South Iron love because when I was at Ellington, I coached against David for a couple years. It was when they had their good teams. Justin Ford, who sometimes watches our show.
Sturgeon, Ellington.
6. It's 6.
I thought it was 7.
Just keep adding.
So I'm
6
still
or 7.
leading. I got
Whatever.
6 or 7.
It is what it is. So, and David, he's a pretty good player. You already had your time.
St. Pius a 10th.
Gosh, the 10th.
David ended up playing at Three Rivers and then went on to play at Missouri Baptist. I think he had gotten hurt at Three Rivers, so that kind of derailed a little bit of what he could have done. And number 1 and 2, number 2 is Bobby Hatchett, who if he would have had the grades, what a phenomenal point guard he was.
Oh,
he won 3 state championships in high school. I was the dumb guy who said, hey, we're missing the game here in Ellington. Let's go play Scott County on a Tuesday night. We drive all the way over to Scott County. Coach Cookson's like, yeah, just come on over.
What year was Hatchet? Was he a senior? Was that with?
I think that was I think he was a junior. So we got to play against Bobby Hatchett and Otto Porter on the same team.
Oh.
I mean, we lost by 60, but you want to talk about just a phenomenal basketball player. Point guard.
Yes.
He ends up going, again, the grades. He played at Midland Community College, ended up playing at Arkansas Tech, but just fantastic.
He was. His senior year with Otto, that junior year up at the Final Four, man. That was great.
And then let's just move on. Number 1 is Otto Porter Jr. He played at Scott County, same with Bobby. He's in the NBA, number 3 pick overall. And I remember Otto when he was in 8th grade and watching him from the time that he was in middle school all the way up. He played in the Final Four every year that he was in high school, 1/3 his freshman year. That didn't ever happen again. And he had to live up to Otto Porter Sr., who he broke his dad's rebounding record in the state championship game. He got 26 rebounds in the state championship game. And
that was Hatchet Senior. It was rebound, outlet to Hatchet, dunk. I mean, it was unreal. It was Class 1 basketball. And Scott County, I mean, they went through some. Was that the year they they beat whoever they played by like 70 or something. It was
they beat Dadeville that year, and
Okay.
Dadeville had a really good team.
Okay.
Because they ended up playing them, I believe, they might have played them the next year, but no, that was Newtown Harris.
Okay.
And I gotta say, this is a funny story. So I knew Scott County's coach back in the day, good friend of mine, Kenyon Wright, and I used to always go up there. Me and my dad would go and watch him, and we'd sit there in the hallways, hang out with the coaching staff. Otto Porter, I mean, he'd be sitting in the hallway just listening to music, just talking. Good kid. And the Columbia paper did a just big story about Newtown. They're going to play Scott County for the state championship. And Scott County had this really great press. And they asked Newtown's coach, his name was Tim Cool. And never will forget this. He said, how are you going to handle Scott County's press? It was a 1-2-2, but it didn't matter. You had those athletes. He said, we've seen a lot of presses. We're not really worried about it. So Kenyon, who's the coach, Kenyon Wright, he's just like, hey, look at this crap. And he just goes into this big spiel, bulletin board material. He let me attend practice and I'm going to tell you right now, those kids were so fired up, and they beat the absolute dog out of them. It was about a 50 or 60-point drubbing in the state championship game.
Yeah.
And
it might have been 60 plus.
It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close.
So I bet he didn't say that about a press again.
And the great part, I guess, Coach Cool's sons played on that team. I mean, they were really good.
Yeah.
But when you're coming from Northwest Missouri and playing that style, and then you're playing against this. I mean, Scott County is beating Charleston. They're beating teams that, normally, I mean, they're playing in the championship game of the Southeast Missouri Christmas Tournament in Cape. And Otto is just he's a fantastic kid. He goes to Georgetown. He's Big East Player of the Year. Never played one single game of AAU basketball. Mizzou had their chance. They blew that. We've already been over that
debacle.
Absolute terror.
Great job.
Yeah, good job keeping our guys in state. But just his work ethic is unreal, and just a credit to how good of a kid he is, and I mean, I just enjoy watching him. Even if I turn on the NBA and I see them play, and there's the Bulls or something on, I will stop, even though it's the Bulls. I'll watch it because I'm just and I go back to those games. He was just a fantastic player. We had no chance. Didn't matter what we ran.
Matt Schutte wants to know, Coach Miller, Jiminy Criminy, I mean, are you guys still on? It's a school night, by golly. But at least we're on. I mean, every time he gets on, the power goes out and everything else happens. So.
You're on permanent.
Yeah,
assignment.
Permanent vacation.
Permanent.
He's like an Aerosmith album right now. All the old people references. All right, so I guess that is it for top 5. I guess we'll kick right into the trivia now.
I knew you were going to do that.
Well,
For some crazy reason, my trivia is not coming.
So Ray's going to come up with.
Does that mean I get to take this home another week? Is that what that means?
Hold on.
Oh, okay. All right, sure.
Gosh.
Well, I will anyway. So
Look
it
at
doesn't
this
matter.
guy. Jason, are you even playing today?
I'm
I guess.
We got to write. Since
You like that kid that tried to play in PE. It's like, are you going to play today? You're like, well, I guess I'll dress out and play.
Since you, didn't bring the boards, I only have to write A, B, C, or D. So
How hard is it?
Well, after, I kind of had to lose them because I was on the run from the cops, if you remember right. Last time I had the board. Apparently, you can get kicked out of a summer league game.
That's right. That's right.
Oh yeah, you would know.
I do. But I never got kicked out, so that's what happens.
Just kept teeing you up.
well, I mean,
Yeah, you've had that too.
I didn't get kicked out. I stayed.
I stayed and coached
He
kids.
wasn't very happy about
I
it.
ain't leaving.
Not leaving.
Can't leave. I'm the supervisor,
Shooting
bro.
the free throws.
The only supervisor.
There's a story there. I want to hear the story.
Well, I mean,
No, not on the air.
it was.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
So, Ray, are you got about done over there?
I'm still looking.
Yeah, we're
I was
just
taking
filling
up. I was
time.
taking
want
up
us
for
to-
a player.
Do you want
Okay.
us to do our
So-
tirade and you can
Let's
look
do
at
the
this?
tirade because, they're all on the same
Oh
thing
man,
here, so.
who's prepared for the show?
We are.
We did our. Wait.
We are.
Hey, listen, piggybacker, coattail rider.
Coattails.
I had notes written and everything about my
Really?
guys and what we were
Can
doing.
you read them?
They're
they
not
English?
very legible.
No,
What is going
it's called
on
shorthand.
here?
I'm sorry they're not in Latin.
I am really sorry. about
I do
this.
have a category maybe for a top 5 best cheers from schools that you've heard.
Okay.
Like at
I can't say those.
no, high school.
Oh,
Can't
okay.
say some of them.
high school pep?
I know. I can't say some of them. They were really good. I watched Poplar Bluff play DeSmet, and DeSmet had some really good ones.
I was thinking
Poplar
Borgia
Bluff
and
did not
Sykeston.
hold back.
Yeah.
Especially since it was an all-boys school.
Well,
just leave it at that.
The Borgia Sykeston game.
See, this is the bad part. Is none of these have multiple choice answers. And I don't know what happened. 'Cause I thought I was on the right page.
Well, let's go on to the rants. Let's do the
Yeah,
rants.
We'll do the rants. We'll do the trivia. Blair, you can keep the trophy another week. It's bye.
So
I guess it's a bye week.
Well, hopefully our tirades will be long enough. He can get his act together over there.
Thank you. Gosh.
No holds bar here.
And it is now timeout tirade time.
By default.
Da, da, da.
We're going to start with Jason Jarvis to start with.
I'm going last.
No, we're going first.
I'm going last. It's all. No, Jason's going.
I'll go first. I don't care.
Time starts now.
National media. They can kiss St. Louis's behind. You know why? You're hated when you're good.
Yeah.
Cardinals, good. They don't give us any press. When we were good, when we're going to hopefully be good again. How many World Series we have?
11.
11. We're second, right? But we get no love. You go turn ESPN on, Cardinals is going to be like a blip. A blip. I mean, you know, it's back to the whole.
It's a flyover state, right?
Yeah, flyover state. That's
I like the way you put that.
Good Jason Aldean song. But
what?
It is.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
It is. I mean, I know a little country. And so that just aggravates me. Living in the Midwest and supporting Midwest teams like a good Missouri boy should.
Yeah.
He's not from Missouri.
And he doesn't support Illinois teams.
Who are we talking about?
So that's basically my rant. It wasn't a big one, but
How about
it is.
the PGA when the PGA went to Belle Reve a couple years ago?
It was kind of interesting.
Man.
We did get some press, but not
it was huge. Went there Thursday.
Huge.
Oh, huge.
But okay, so the PGA was, but name another sporting event that or sport.
One of the reasons why the PGA was so big that
World
year
of
was
Outlaws.
because of Tiger Woods.
Yeah. Yes,
that was the only reason why it would have been big. It wouldn't have been big its time if it wasn't. For
I
him
agree.
being
I
there.
mean, because we're stuck in the middle.
Sucks,
kind of. It's like the middle child.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like the middle child. You know, stuck in the middle.
Did you just really go Jan Brady?
Just saying, man.
No. Marsha.
And I will say,
Yeah.
that tirade was not prepared. It just
Wow,
bam,
look at
is
you.
what came in.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
How about that?
Fly by
All
the
right.
seat of your pants.
That's right. That's what I do sometimes.
Should we go to Mr. Miller?
No. I'm not going. You can go to somebody else. I'm going last.
Yeah.
All right.
MC,
He must have something up his sleeve here.
Nope.
I don't know.
I'm just going last. I think McVay should go next.
Oh man, you can put me on the spot.
Yeah, I am.
I don't care. I'll go.
Yeah, you're going to talk about steroids?
No.
Your time starts now.
All right. So explain to me how all of these families can send their kids off to college, go to the dorms, they can hang out in the cafeteria, they can do all that, but magically college sports can't go on.
Smart virus.
Smart virus, is that what it is?
Yeah.
So that, I don't agree with that. I don't understand how that works. I don't know.
There's a bunch of Big Ten families that
Yeah,
are on your side.
exactly. Yeah, we
That's
wanted
true.
to talk about that.
And
but,
about
you know.
99% of those colleges are going virtual classes or Zoom, and they're not even meeting in classes.
Which means they could stay home and do this if they wanted to.
Yeah. Well, school's getting
I say room and board.
need that money.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, there you
I
go.
hear at Jeffco it's 9 in a class is what I've heard.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
I don't. But you can go to a tournament. Our tournament was up at St. Peter's.
That's
Where
what
was your
ours was,
tournament?
St.
Okay.
Peter's.
Magically, we can go and
We went to Jeff City to a basketball tournament this weekend, and there was not much mask wearing or anything, and people were, yeah.
It only affects Misha Sports
or NCAA
or
sports.
NCAA.
Yeah.
And well,
Not
and
AU or Select.
or St. Louis Cardinals.
Well, affected them.
Hey, they got a lot of press on that.
Hey, we're still on Zach's time. Hey, Zach's
That's all I
going.
got. That's all I had.
That's it?
That's
Oh,
all.
okay. I was trying to help you out.
I didn't have much this week.
So you were just basically throwing a question out there.
I don't know. I don't get it.
How does this work?
How does this work?
Tell me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
I kind of wanted to talk
angry
about
questions.
It just goes back to the smart bite.
It's smart.
It's all smart.
Really smart.
All right, we're going to move over to Mr. Riley
Well,
Blair.
I think he needs an extra minute.
Yeah, from last week. Well, so I'm going to start with that when I'm starting, but I'm going to kind of go off of what Zach was
I
talking
gave
about.
you 1 extra minute.
I got two parts to this.
Oh,
One, why is college so expensive?
I can answer that question.
And then 2, why every student must take gen ed requirements no matter what their major is. Why not take it? Why not they don't do those in high school? What's the point of high school? So my point of it is why is college education so expensive? It's all about the dollar. Why does every student have to take gen ed classes? Because they're getting more money for them. So considering that a college student has to go to 4 years of college to pay all that kind of money, and to get a degree, they're being taught by someone that's getting paid less than what they're going to go out and do in the real world. So you mean tell me that a doctor is going to get paid more to go out and be a doctor than that teacher that taught them how to be a doctor is?
So what you're saying is us teachers need paid more.
I agreed. 100%.
I agree.
100%.
Well.
But the point of it is college education's the dollar amount of how to attend
outrageous.
college is crazy.
I didn't realize until the last couple of years, having a couple kids go, go play basketball at different NAIA schools. It's doubled since we went to school.
Oh my gosh!
It's
Yeah.
doubled.
I could not afford to go to Central Methodist. There ain't no way.
No.
Of what it costs now. No way.
And it's frustrating because they say that high school is where you're going to get your gen eds and learn to get that out of the way. And then you got to go to and take the first 2 years is all gen ed classes basically.
Well,
so
how about university study classes they throw in there and saying you have to take these? I took Australian culture.
Yeah.
I don't need Australian culture. You know what I remember about that class? We ate Vegemite, and it was
Put another shrimp on the barbie.
And we listened to Men at Work.
oh, perfect.
And it was
the
a hard
land down
class.
under. Yeah, right.
So my thought process is why
Took
do we
Old
go to
Testament.
high school? Why do kids attend high school if none of that goes them forward to college? We still got to take it over. You got to take English twice. You got to take math twice.
I'm still making a student loan payment.
I mean,
I've been out for 20 years.
It's insane to think that college education is that. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. Why is that? Is because we're paying for, those pro athletes to participate into those sports. I think that's what college education. It's basically what it does.
I don't know.
Well, 75% of what college pays for is for all the teachers and their salaries. It's not the brick and mortar buildings.
Are
but when
you
you
insane?
I'm just telling you. Well, when you have one study and you have just take one study and it's 10 different professors for one subject.
Well, yeah.
Not even
That's
like
true.
not even like
Could be
history.
true.
We're talking like some specific study, and then you have all the adjunct professors, and that's.
Somebody says Blair has family in Australia.
I do.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
I do.
That's cool.
They come from a land down under?
Perth, Australia.
Perth, hey.
Yeah, thank you, Donna
and
Blair.
Matt Schutte jumps in and says there's no such thing as a good Jason Aldean song, just so you know. because Matt Schutte's ratings go
Oh.
All right, Miller.
That's why he's still on assignment, right?
Yeah,
You said it. Hey, you are the producer.
Permanent.
So, hey, Matt Judy, what's up?
I'm sorry, Matt.
Poor Matt.
I really am. I got to be nice to him because he's calling the Pius game first week, so I better be really nice to him.
Well, he did knock us out of power last time.
That he did, yeah. So there you go. Last but not least, Christopher Miller.
Oh, crap. Here we go.
Your time
And it goes.
starts now.
Can you put him on mute?
Yeah, hold on. Here you go. Go ahead.
Hey, you want me to talk now? Put me on mute and see what happens. You'll get something through the years. All right, so I'm on. All right.
Hey,
Oh, by the way,
15 seconds is
If
gone.
hey, listen, if you want to put me on mute, see what happens.
No, let's not.
Go ahead.
See what happens.
Go ahead.
I will make you cringe.
Go
Ray.
ahead. Go ahead.
All right, so the funny part is every time that we go into a week It ends up being literally 2 days before we're going to do the show. And everybody's like, what are we going to do? What's the agenda for the show? Everybody's asking, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? And then it's crickets. There ain't nothing. Nobody says anything.
We're waiting on the host.
Wait on what? Then I got put it laid out there like, okay, here's what we're going to do. And then it's, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like this. Well, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I want to do this. I want to do that. How about we do this? No, I want to do that. I want to do this.
I can't hear him. Can you hear him?
And you know what? And it's like, somebody make a freaking decision. Everybody, and then it's like, well, I don't want to do that. And it's like mumbling, grumbling all the time. You guys just make it. You guys make decisions for a living.
Man, I like to hear, but I can't.
I don't care. Turn down for what? All right? Hey, make a decision. We put the show together.
Our decision is, what do you want to do?
Oh, God. Yeah, they're pissing and moan about it. It's like, all
right.
That is.
Hey, I guess he's going to have to put Chris on assignment.
Put me on assignment. Do it. Do it.
Man.
But, hey, make a decision.
Hey, do they
you got
serve
ideas.
Huh? Do they
Make
serve
decisions.
cheese here?
Yeah, they do.
Can we get him some cheese with that
Yeah,
wine?
with your wine.
We got
It's a tirade, okay?
We got it.
It's what it's
And
part
he
of it.
is great at tirades, as all the referees who have joined the show have said.
That's right. Just give me the timeout. I just said I want the timeout.
There's
You
your
got your
stop sign.
timeout because that's your time right there. So there you go.
There it is.
Man,
Are you feeling better?
came after us, didn't he?
Man, he did. Hold on. Time out. Can you get that knife out of my... Here, I'll help you. I'll help you, too. Hold on.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Hey, it's summer. There's no sense in being snowflakes. So
Oh, wow.
so
It's
melt.
summer.
So Matt Schutte says that now he's holding out for a contract redo. Thanks, guys.
Hey, it's not her.
Hey, after this tirade, we might negotiate.
This is this is my negotiation with Matt Schutte. So here's my negotiation.
Uh-oh.
Our original negotiation was a Dr. Pepper. Now I'm going to have to just up it to 2.
That's more than what we make.
So
Shooty gets the Dr. Pepper. You guys get Jack Squad. Dang.
So, did you find any questions? Or we?
I didn't find any questions, so we're going to keep it for another week.
Man.
I promise
told you
I
a
will
herky
come.
person was going to get that
I
thing.
promise I will come back for
Talk
more
about
questions.
rigged. Talk about rigged.
Yep, he screwed me out of the first week.
He had
by
one
coming up with a question.
He had one job
he
to
had one
do.
job to come up with questions.
Okay.
We should have had Whitener do them.
Man, and he was on me about getting my top 5.
I
He was
agree.
supposed to be here too, but he is sick. So he is
That's what he
sick.
gets for making fun of our show.
And final, we'll end with
Hope
this.
Jeff
Karma.
feels better.
We'll end with this.
But-
a Kyle Blorer post.
Yeah.
They're all married. They haven't had to make decisions for a long time.
Wow.
That is
Chris,
say
when
that's
did you get
true.
married? You eloped this weekend?
No, he's talking about his rant towards us
Oh,
three.
my goodness.
I mean, you know, I enjoyed having a...
Kyle, you speak the truth, my friend.
Oh, he's learning the truth. He's
Yeah, I bet. Hey,
he's at home
hey,
right.
Kyle, when's the last time you've been out to hang out with us?
Hey, can I watch the coach's box?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
surprised you're allowed to be on your phone today.
He's hiding. He's
Holy
in the bathroom. What are you doing in there? Nothing. I'm not watching the coach's box.
Unbelievable.
Hey,
Unbelievable.
when's Main Street Sports?
Tomorrow, 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Tomorrow, 2 o'clock.
And a
on.
shout out
We're doing a shout out. We're doing a shout out to softball. The problem is, I'm not sure. I might end up having to host this thing,
Hey.
which and I
you
might
should
have to
ask
host.
Riley
I might
Blair.
have to host this thing.
Might come over here.
100%. Well, we might not do it here. We might do it completely virtual because
No.
all of the coaches that are involved can only meet virtual because some are in school right now, and the only person that can actually show up live here, believe it or not, is Kevin Holly. So we'll see
Kevin
what
should be
happens.
working.
I know. That's what I was going to say, man.
You know,
What
I'm
hours
just-
they do
I'm
over there.
just
Are they
saying-
out passing flyers? Do you value your
Oh,
education?
man.
I'll
Yeah.
stay tomorrow.
Wow.
So there you go.
He's next week.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey. Oh, I have a good one for you. I'll leave that one alone.
All right.
He's like, don't do it. Don't do it.
I
My
just see
wife's
your
watching the show. Don't do it.
My wife's not going to let me come back.
If they're going to talk bad about you, I'm not letting you go
Right.
back.
Well, gentlemen, we went long, but it was fun.
Blair should have left a long time ago.
Oh goodness.
If if anybody knows what that means, you're laughing. But that's now I'm gonna come to me so you can do whatever you want at that point.
Oh man!
Thanks so much for watching Coach's Box. We'll be back next week. We'll see you next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Have a great evening.
See you guys.
Okay, class, we're down to our last lesson. Today we're going to talk about how do we handle coaches that get angry. So the first one we're going to talk about is Coach Jarvis. So what do we do when Coach Jarvis starts to get angry? That's right, very good. Okay, now this next one's pretty difficult. Coach Blair, he has a sign that lets you know that he's starting to get angry. What's that sign that we got to watch? That's right, that's right. And what do we do when we tell him enough? We put up the stop sign. That's right, that's right. Okay, now this last one is going to be the toughest one of all. Okay, this last one's going to be the toughest one. What do we do when we start to hear Coach Miller? Oh, you're right on it. You know exactly what to do with Coach Miller. You tee him up right away. Don't even let him talk.